What's up, everybody? So this first clip starts off a little slow, but I promise it picks up pretty quick. We basically ran him over at mid, but I saw a bow off to the right shooting at me, so I go to hunt this guy down. He almost gets saved here by just terrible hatchet tracking. If you're wondering why he was doing the ice skating emote, I'm pretty sure he thinks he's doing the exploit that lets you move through deep water faster while you're doing the emote, but he doesn't realize the water in OPR isn't actually even deep enough to slow you down, so he kind of just screwed himself over for nothing. The second guy, fire staff comes out of nowhere. He's already like half dead to PvE, so I'm not sure why he challenged. But this next guy, the Sharkies, he was actually a huge pain in my ass the entire match. This guy was pretty good. So every time I saw him, I went out of my way to try and get him. But he gets me the whole way down to 6 HP there. Just barely misses proccing my Defy Death. But using everything I got to stick on him. And I feel like I'm dying pretty fast even when he's not hitting me. I thought there was one more fire staff behind me, but when I actually get him down here and turn around, I realize, nope, it's actually a musket deep left and 2 more fire staffs. So AGS, if we could get a Koi's knee guard buff, it'd be probably about time for a nice meta shift. But I get a lot of comments of people saying they don't see the value in Blooddrinker when I make a video like this. But if you look at just how much I healed just from attacking that guy's entomb, I don't really see an argument for any other artifact if you're a solo player, because if you're playing without a healer and you're trying to 1v2, 3, 4, whatever, you really can't beat that much healing self-sustain. But it seems like I finally have a 1v1 here with the musket, but here comes the Sharkies again, back from spawn already. The musket was at least smart enough to walk sideways and not give me free backstab, otherwise he would have been dead almost instantly. But I changed my build up here. I don't have the stam regen I normally do, and I try to dodge with like 108 stamina. So take the pillar to the face. So the early part of this next clip doesn't require a whole lot of explanation. See what's going on, so I thought I'd just take a second to say thank you to everybody that's subscribed lately. We're almost halfway to being eligible for YouTube Partner, and when I started making Call of Duty and Overwatch videos 2 years ago, it didn't seem like we were ever going to get to this point, so I appreciate you guys, and I hope you really are enjoying the content. If you ever have any other builds or anything you want to see, please feel free to just throw them in the comments. I'm always looking for new stuff to try out just to keep the game fresh. But this guy, I missed my javelin, but he's not trying to stop me from actually cap the point. So we just kind of run around. Seems like he used target practice anyway. But we give our javelin back up, and most bows would dodge after rabbit shot. So I waited a second there, but he didn't. So we send it. I wouldn't normally chase him down here, but I know he already wasted his potion and then stams himself, so he's basically forced to just face tank the entire Raging Torrent, and we get him with the throwing hatchet. You see in a second here, that shot comes in. I'm just barely out of range apparently, so means the blunderbuss is on his way again. This guy is just a glutton for punishment, but we get the empowering toast regen pot off. And he's taking way more damage this time because we got the 40% rend on him with Javelin. But I'm also dying way faster because there's another damn bow shooting me in the back. But we get the health pot off in time before he gets in. And as soon as I get him on the ground here, first thing I want to do is get Biobomb on him just to make sure he can't try and make a comeback in this fight. This next clip is a completely different vibe. They spawned me into this match late. They're already getting 3 capped. I try to walk out, and the team's just letting themselves be spawn camped, so I simply walked past them to go back cap. But come in here ready for a fight. I throw a Biobomb on this poor guy, powering toast, the whole 9, and he's about halfway dead before I realize, like, it's kind of messed up. This guy's trying to learn how to play. But I see him respawn here in a second. I'm like, alright, if he just takes off, I'll just leave him be. But props to him. He at least wants to go again, so we bring him down off the high ground and have ourselves another 1v1. I think the funniest part of this whole clip is just the fact that the entire time I've been here, nobody's respawning. That means my team's killing literally no one. But a healer finally respawns, and there's not a damn thing he can do to stop me from burning this down, so we just kind of ignore him. But now that we have the totem down, focus on the healer. Once we get him low, throw a bio bomb on him, make sure he can't heal himself back up. We finally get a teammate in here. And funnily enough, we leave him alone for like half a second, and he's actually dying to our buddy Zombie Lord and a heavy healer. The way this match went, I probably should have just let these guys get the kill, just because. But yeah, this was a weird one. This next clip, I'm kind of just down here, trying to be a frontline, trying to coax my team forward. Like, hey, please, look, the water's fine. Stop 19v2ing, walk forward. Super frustrating when people play like that. Like, you can't capture the fort from the road. Like, you might as well press forward and see what you can get done. But we're down here just trying to pick people off, and they finally start walking forward to try and help. Quick kind of tip, if you play this build, if there's nobody standing on the ramparts and you just want to do as much damage to the door as possible, use your hatchet. But if there are a crap ton of people on the ramparts, usually use my spear just to reset the cooldowns faster. The second attack of your light attack chain, reset your cooldowns. Dodging before an ability, reset your cooldowns. And the second half of sweep, the downward stab, counts as a heavy attack, so as long as you take that passive, it's another 15% cooldown reduction. So even though they just nerfed the crap out of Scorpion Sting and made it harder to get that back off cooldown, since the door is a guaranteed hit, it's actually not too terrible with the door there, just being able to get it back up. But we missed the javelin anyway because we suck. And if you're wondering where the hell my team just went all of a sudden, there was just 18 people standing behind me. That's usually what I'm thinking. And they're back up the hill on the road fighting one guy. This last clip isn't really 1vx, but it just felt good to 100-0 this guy. He thought the scream was going to save him, I guess, so instead of rolling away, he decided to put Oblivion down. Definitely should have just rolled away. But GG's, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll throw the build guide up here in a second. Alright, most people tune out during the build guide, so I'll go over this super quick. Helmet, Shuriken Heals, Shuriken Fort, Critical Retribution. Chest, Frigid Dawn with Shuriken Heals. Legs, same thing. Gloves, Shuriken Heals, Leeching Cyclone, and who gives a crap third perk. Tumbler Feet Wraps with Shuriken Heals. The Amulet, I've been running Stam Recovery, Divine, and I always run some kind of protection. Blooddrinker with Keen Awareness on it. Refreshing Toast Regen, and I've been running Empowering Toast lately because I always start off every fight with a regen pot if I can, so it's nice to just get that Empower. I finally upgraded my Heart Rune. Doesn't really matter. The Hatchet, Pen Backstab, Vicious, Exhausted Exploitation. We're going for as much backstab damage as possible, but I took Vicious instead of Rogue, because you still end up hitting people in the face a lot. The Exhaust isn't really important, but the slow it lets you apply helps a lot with the Hatchet rubber banding, and they take an extra 10% damage because of 200 strength. I put Pen Backstab on Scorpion Sting. My attributes are even 200 split with 2 points in int because of Magnify. Hatchet Tree, nothing's changed. Spear Tree, to make these three abilities work and still be able to get to Exploited Weakness, you gotta put a couple points into a random ability you're not gonna use, which kinda sucks because you're missing this Stam, and this Stam. I tried it just playing with this ultimate, so I didn't waste a bunch of passives, but this one kinda sucks, especially for my playstyle. But yeah, I think that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions.